When we come to a Dharma temple, when we come to a center, when we come to a place of worship, in the Buddhist case, worship is very important. Prayer is very important. Prayer and worship is a way for us to think about the words we are saying, think about who we're praying to, and why. And we need to get away from the concept that we pray to something and something grants us something. We need to get away from that concept. If we always hold on to the concept that we pray to something and something grants us our wishes, that will not happen, very rarely. If that is the case, the whole world is praying for world peace. The whole world is praying for lack of disease, annihilation disease. The whole world is praying for wealth and happiness and for global warming to stop. Obviously, those prayers are very powerful, but they don't actually fulfill what we're praying for. So I cannot comment too much on the other holy religions, but I can touch upon Buddhism in relations to them. And that is, if we simply pray and fold our hands and do our sadhanas and recite the Lama Chöpa or do Tsok, it collects merit to fulfill the aspirational prayers that we have made. Aspirational prayers are aspirations in the form of prayers solicited to someone very holy or some being that's very holy, in this case a Buddha. And when we solicit something very holy and we solicit something beyond us and we make these prayers were written by great masters of the past. These prayers were done by great masters of the past. These prayers were composed by great masters of the past. Therefore, when we recite these prayers, it is systematized and set for us that is very easy to follow and easy to do, and is very complete. When we follow prayers that are set by the previous masters and is very complete, then we can just relax and meditate and focus. When we make our own prayers, there's a chance that we might miss out on something. There's a chance that we might forget something. There's a chance that when we have a great opportunity, we may miss out on something. For example, great leaders who need to talk to the populace or people, they need to prepare their speeches. They prepare their speeches not because they don't know what they want to say, or not because they don't know what's going on. They prepare their speeches because they don't want to forget anything that they've discussed prior. So in meeting people, in traveling, and a lot of people around them, and lights and photographers and questions, they might forget temporarily what they want to say, but that doesn't mean that they have not planned it. Similarly, if great leaders prepare their speech to speak, then for us, when we solicit the Buddhas, that is something very great. So we prepare the speech. So prepared speeches and prepared aspirational words are what we call prayers. So when we have set prayers that is composed by great masters of the past who have attained Buddhahood, who have attained great attainments. Example, Lama Tsongkhapa. Or in the case of this prayer that we just did, it was composed by His Holiness the First Panchen Lama, who's very attained. So their attainments and how they became attained and the stages and path to their attainment is verbalized into words. So how they became attained from step 1 to step 100. They know. They've already reached it. And when they look back, they can see it clearly. But we can't. So what happens is when we recite these prayers by great masters, great teachers, they've achieved something already. In their achieving something, they come back and they compose the stages and path of their achievement. And when they have composed that, it is written down for memory's sake so that we don't forget, A. B, it is in stages and path, is a guideline for how we should practice. Everything what we recited is a guideline for what we practice. And it is in form of a prayer where we chant We have beautiful mudras. There's a lot of meaning to that. And we also have beautiful songs and singing to elicit the 3 jewels. It's an offering of ourselves. It's an offering. So therefore, when we put it in the form of prayer and we solicit the 3 jewels, it becomes a reminder of what we need to do, of something that's been achieved by another being, A. B, it is an aspirational prayer so that nothing is missed out. A lot of people go in front of the Buddhas, they say, how do I pray? What do I pray? What do I say? What do I think? Many people don't know, not because they're stupid, because they weren't taught. So when we have special prayers, that is the guidelines that the great masters have put down for us to follow at our level. It's just like we have a very kind mother and father who teaches us what to do. But when we grow up, we can be independent. We can do it differently than when we were taught. Similarly, on the wall near the main entrance on the right is the 8 verses of thought transformation. The 8 verses of thought transformation are supreme. They are the essence of all the Buddha's teachings. If we can follow every single line and practice, and actually it becomes natural, then it's very powerful. Why is that very powerful? Everything that the Buddha is teaching us, everything that the Buddha is helping us, is contained in those 8 prayers. Is contained in those 8 prayers. So therefore, if we recite those 8 lines every single day, they are a reminder of what we are supposed to do, A. B, they are our goals to achieve. And C, when we actually recite it in the form of prayer, we plant the seeds to achieve those. So when we actually practice them every single day, we're opening those seeds up. So those 8 verses of thought transformation extended is in what we just recited, Lama Chupa. Lama Chupa. So when we recite these, we shouldn't think that there's some exotic Tibetan rituals. We shouldn't think that there's something complicated, or we shouldn't think that there's something for someone else and not for us. It's actually for us. It is actually for us. It is actually for our own benefit.